welcome to episode 1 of Fun with
Friday morning fuckeries.
I almost just wow. So this is Brian and Tim. I am Tim.
I'm Brian. Happy
And
Friday morning, everyone.
Happy Friday. It's Friday, bitches.
It is.
Or Friday.
This is our Potables podcast?
Ooh.
Or potpourri?
Ooh, potpourri. Potent potables for 100, Alex.
I'll take the rapist for 200, Alex. That's therapist, Mr. Connery.
So for those of you that listen on Tuesday mornings, this is Ripping the Rack podcast. Or
After dark.
Oh, After Dark. Oh,
Giggity,
yeah. Giggity. We're basically going to talk about anything and everything other than candlepin bowling.
Yeah.
So
Movies, music, sports.
Deep subjects.
Deep subjects.
No, seriously.
Fresh cuts.
Yeah.
Anything we want to talk about.
Anything we want to talk about. Happy stuff, sad stuff.
Yeah. The world kind of sucks right now.
Funny stuff, sad stuff. Doesn't matter. We're going to talk about
We're going to talk about it.
Yep. Because we're Brian and Tim, and God damn it, we like to laugh and we like to talk.
Mm-hmm.
It's going
to be kind of hard to talk about some stuff today because we're future guessing today, as it's not really Friday where we are, but we're time traveling a little bit.
True. This is recorded.
Yes.
We will be recording this prior.
Yeah. So if we don't catch something throughout the week,
we'll try to
apologize,
and we'll try to get it the next week.
Mm-hmm.
The next
like
week.
World Series, Tim. Why does some
this
dumb idiot steal home in the World Series?
Because Margot is not. That was such a bad base running move, and I understand why he tried. Because you did have, you had Kershaw on the mound, who takes a long time.
He holds the ball.
But my God, man, you're down 3-2. You're on third base with the man on first. What are you doing? And that was to end an inning.
Yep.
Oh, I will admit this has actually been a really entertaining World Series.
It has. The Dodgers are fun to watch.
And
I just don't like Tampa Bay. I just can't get into Tampa Bay. I never could.
I know, but man, they're fun. They are fun to watch.
They're not as fun as the Padres.
Nah, I wish Slam Diego was in it. I do.
Fernando Tatis gives zero fucks about anything.
Oh my God. So I typically only watch bits and pieces of a World Series unless the Red Sox are in it. And then I'm watching every pitch and whatnot. But I have watched a lot of this World Series. It's been fun. Like every game has been close. There has been no blowouts. Well, I guess the first game was kinda.
Yeah, but you just had LA coming off beating a very good Atlanta team. Tampa Bay went through nobody as good as that Atlanta team. I'm sorry, the Astros are not as good as that Atlanta team.
Fuck the Astros. That's right, I said it.
Well, they're a bunch of cheaters.
Cheating bastards.
And yes, the Red Sox cheated too.
But you know what? The Red Sox got caught, and the Red Sox got punished for it.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Alex Cora lost his job.
Well, Alex Cora lost his job for the Houston thing. That was for the Houston. That was for his role with Houston.
But he was doing it in Boston.
I'm sure. But they got caught in 2018 with the Apple Watches. They got caught. I admit, yes, the Red Sox got caught doing something that every fucking single team does.
Everybody cheats.
Yes.
Except New England, they're a bunch of cheaters and they suck.
Oh, man, they're terrible this year, though.
I love this season of Patriot football.
My God.
I love it. Did you see me and you and Garides back and forth on Twitter?
I saw that. Look, I'm a realist. I knew going into this season that this was a bridge year for the Patriots.
Just don't let it turn into 22 like it has in Dallas.
Oh, my God. I don't want 22 bridge year. I could not imagine being a Dallas fan, especially after what happened to,
all our quarterbacks.
Every single quarterback. Oh, my God. What a hit. That was such a bad hit.
And he didn't get fined. He didn't get fined today. They did not fine or levy any punishment. He didn't get suspended or fined for that.
He got ejected from the game. I thought that was an automatic fine.
They reviewed it and they said he didn't need to be ejected, which, holy shit, he damn near decapitated Big Red.
God. That's nuts.
When he was already sitting on the ground.
That's a bad call. That's such a bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad look, and I just, like I said, I'm all for hitting in football.
So
like, I am.
Here's my thing about the NFL and the front office. It's fucking whose line is it anyways? The rules are made up. The points don't fucking matter at this point.
That's true.
If Roger Goodell doesn't like you, you get suspended. If he likes you, you get slapped on the wrist for beating your wife in a hotel elevator. And then he figures out he probably should have suspended you.
Oh my god. Or if you're the Patriots, then they're gonna lose. They'll probably lose 4 first-round picks for what happened.
Listen, here's the thing with New England. Yes, Goodell treated them a little unfairly.
Do you think?
You fuckers made clown towels of him and handed them out
awesome.
at opening night of the NFL. You brought it upon yourself.
But they did that after.
It wasn't as bad until then.
Oh my god, but that was odd. You gotta admit it was funny though.
Donald has that head cover on his driver.
Does he?
He has the Goodell clown. You know why? Because he hit his driver exactly 0 times on the golf trip. He tees up every single thing with a 5-iron.
Yeah.
Always 5-iron.
Yeah. Because it's the only thing he can hit straight.
It is. That's a true story. He hit his driver he hit it about 50 yards in the air, and then it took an immediate nosedive and went about another 35 on the ground.
Oh,
which isn't,
God.
Which actually was more playable than my 240-yard banana right I hit.
Let's get back to football real quick, though.
Okay, what about football?
I love football. Like, I love to watch football. I didn't play, obviously.
I played a lot.
I know you did.
My body knows I did now, too.
Here's the thing, is I know football is inherently a dangerous sport.
Yes, it's a car accident.
Yes. Especially once you get up into that high school level and beyond.
True story.
Okay. Starts out innocent in Pee Wee football. Yeah, there's some big hits, but you know what? You're not really... It's not terrible.
Depending on the size of the kid, no.
Okay. If you're not Brian Athern size, deking out a 5-year-old whatever, basically taking shits bigger than what you are,
I was slightly a bit bigger.
Okay, you were like the kid on bench warmers. I am 12 as you're drinking a malt liquor. Okay?
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Full-grown beard and everything else.
No, it's just my last year of Pee Wee football. I was 5'4" and about 220 to 230 pounds. I was a full-grown adult. Jesus. We get off the bus at a travel game, and one of the other people go, "Oh, that's nice. You have one of the high school kids coaching the Pee Wee kids." And my dad goes, "No, it's my son. He's our center." And the lady goes, "What?"
But I like watching football.
I like watching good football.
Yes, good football. Let me put it that way.
And
even though bad football is sometimes fun to watch too, because
the Jets are fun to watch. They now have a butt fumble and a butt interception.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. I feel as though the pendulum has swung to the safety side that the players don't know what they can do and what they can't do.
Which makes it even more dangerous because you're not supposed to second guess yourself on a football field.
Correct.
I was always told you make a mistake, you make it at 200 miles an hour.
Right.
Because if you hold up, you're going to hurt yourself.
Right. Now, I understand. Let's take a receiver, for example. I understand that they've tried to eliminate the defenseless receiver. It's very difficult to eliminate that because you were taught, and I coached a little bit of football, not obviously at the high school level. I was middle school and Pee Wee and middle school. That your job as a defenseman is to A, tackle him, or prevent him from getting the ball.
Or C, as I was always told, go get the ball back.
Or go get the ball back. Okay, I didn't say that because that's kind of a given. But so if a receiver goes up in the air to get the ball because the ball is high and it's overthrown, we always taught them center mass. Shoulder pads, not your head. You don't lead with your head.
I always told my kids, you put your shoulder pad into their numbers or into their ribs.
Yes.
Your shoulder pad. You don't lead with your face mask. You don't lead with your helmet.
Right.
Because if you break your shoulder, it's going to feel a lot better than breaking your face.
Right. But now, you can't do that, which I understand. I understand.
I get it, and I don't have a problem with that one as much as I have the problem of, as a 340 to 350 pound lineman who runs honestly at that level like a deer, you're supposed to be able to hold yourself up on a dead sprint if he lets go of the ball and not hit him.
Right.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You're going to blow your knees out.
And it's the same thing with the quarterbacks. They've gone to such length to protect the quarterbacks.
Tom Brady.
Yes. I'll admit it. The Tom Brady rule, whatever you want to call it. I'm okay with protecting the quarterback, but you've gone so far, the pendulum has swung so far that you're asking a defensive. Take who would you say? Not J.J. Watt, because everybody knows, but who is probably the next best behind like a J.J. Watt or a T.J. Watt or something like that? You're probably looking at there's 100 of them. I mean,
Ndamukong Suh. He's a D tackle.
Okay, but let's take him for example. He comes through the line.
Well, he's a dirty player to begin with, but
I understand that, but hear me out. Take away the dirty part of this. Mm-hmm. A 340-pound defensive lineman who's coming through. What is he? 6'4", 6'5"? Somewhere in that.
6'5", yeah.
Okay.
6'5", 6'6".
He leaves his feet, launches himself at the quarterback. The quarterback throws the ball. He gets hit. Flag goes up for unnecessary roughness. Mm-hmm. How the fuck is he supposed to stop himself when he's already in the air?
You ever seen a diesel stop on ice? Didn't think so.
No.
You're not going to see that either.
That is my only... I shouldn't say only. That is my... A pet peeve of mine with protecting the quarterback, because you're asking these defensive players who are doing everything they can to try to get to the quarterback, all of a sudden, don't leave your feet. Don't launch yourself at the quarterback, because God forbid you go too low. Like yesterday when Cam Newton got a flag. Well, he got one. He didn't commit the penalty for a roughing the passer because the guy went low. Well, he went low because he was tackled.
Mm-hmm.
And he was pushed into the legs of Cam Newton.
That's my biggest problem with football right now. Is they're not rules. It is a guide in which the refs can interpret the game and put their decision in place. Mm-hmm. They're not set in stone. They're all up for interpretation. I hate the catch rule. I hate all the catch rules. To me, if you catch the ball, you have control of the ball with 2 feet in bounds.
That's a catch.
That's a catch.
Yep.
If you control the ball and then you fall to the ground and you roll around 3 times and then the ball pops loose, you weren't continuing shit.
Right.
You already caught the ball. If anything, it's a fumble.
Right.
But then the ground can't cause a fumble. So now we have to look at where his knee was and his elbow and the ball. And then the referee's under the hood for 35 minutes. Sucking each other off, apparently.
You know, and that leads me to my next rant real quick. Okay, because we're only going to be like 30 minutes, and we're already like 14 minutes into this.
Okay.
So, I have a feeling we may end up going 45 minutes or something like that. But anyway,
we'll see.
Not today. Not today, Satan. Not today.
I say that every morning.
So, instant replay. I used to like instant replay for various things, whether it was football, baseball, basketball, whatever. I cannot stand what instant replay has turned into in all the sports. It is driving me nuts. Baseball, for example. Guy steals second, attempts to steal second. The throw comes down from the catcher. The second baseman or the shortstop places the tag. They keep the tag on. The guy goes past the bag, keeps his leg on, but as he's getting his hand back to the bag, the body comes off by a fraction of an inch. But they kept the tag on. Now all of a sudden he goes from being safe to out. When there was no attempt at leaving the base, he didn't slide. It wasn't like he slid past the base or he ran through the bag or something else. Literally slid into the bag, but because the player kept the tag on the player, and there was a fraction of an inch between maybe one hand coming on between the other hand, now all of a sudden he's out. The human eye couldn't see it. I hate using instant replay for that.
Instant replay should be used for home runs.
Foul balls and home runs.
Foul balls and home runs. That's it. That's it. And guess what? I even thought of this. If it's a ball down the line and they rule it foul and you go back and look at it fair, guess what, champ? You get first base. That's it. You can't give him second because you don't know if he would have made it. He could have fallen down. He could have got lost.
Yep.
But you give him first.
Unless, of course, it one hopped into the whatever.
Right, exactly.
But
That's the ground rule double. But and then in golf irritates the fuck out of me.
Oh my God!
You have people calling in from home to call in rules violations.
I saw Tiger's ball move when yesterday, and then they go and assess a 2-stroke penalty
On a round that's finished.
a day before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! And of course they're going to see Tiger because that's what the things show. You're not going to see Tim Matero.
Well, you're still going to see Patrick Reed.
Well, but I mean, you know what I mean by that. You're not going to see the pro that it does not have the name recognition.
Right.
You're going to only see those that have name recognition. The Tiger Woods, the
You're
Rory
going to see Tiger
McIlroys.
4 times as much as you see Cameron Champ.
Yes.
4 times as much as you see Tony Finau.
Yes.
Like 2 times as much as you'll see Phil.
Yep.
And
because it's Tiger.
Yeah, it's Tiger. He's an attraction.
So I can't think of any other sport in the history of sports where a fan can call in and be like, I saw his ground move. It was on super slow-mo, and it actually touched the ground twice, and you may want to relook at that. It's like, come on.
Can you imagine if someone called in a rules violation on Jack?
Oh, my God. Or Arnie. Or Watson. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Have some fucking common sense. Why the hell are you even allowing people to call in?
Don't make me get into that topic. Everyone needs to feel special. Everyone needs to be a special fucking flower in the world.
Oh, sweet baby Lord Jesus.
Just because these guys hit a golf ball a hell of a lot further than I am, I'm not going to call them up and be like, oh, you touched the ground 35 millimeters before your ball. That's a penalty. I wouldn't have done that. No, because you're like me. You'd have chunked it 3 or 4 times and it didn't even fucking matter.
It just,
How can I hit the ball 500 yards in 2 shots and it still takes me five shots to get 15 feet on the green?
Yeah, no shit. Oh my God. Brian, it drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It does. The pussification of
organized sports
in
the world
drives me nuts.
It breaks my heart to see high school kids playing 7-on-7 flag football.
Mm-hmm. In the safest state in the country, according to all the reports.
It doesn't even bother me about COVID. This was coming for football regardless of COVID. This was a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. I'll be interested.
It's not going back. It's not going back.
I think it will.
I don't.
I do.
Not in Maine. In states like Massachusetts, and especially, it's never going to change in Texas. It's never going to change in Oklahoma. It's never going to change in the South. They live, eat, breathe football. That's all they do.
The average salary
of a high school
football coach in Texas is $75,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that is your job.
Yeah, that's all you do.
You're not a physical education teacher. You're not a biology teacher.
And you have 5 assistant coaches.
Yep. You're not
all making 30.
Yeah, you're not a biology teacher. You're not a teacher.
And where do you get to coach every Friday night? You get to coach in pretty much the equivalent of any practice facility of the NFL.
The biggest high school stadium. I want to say it's in Allen, Texas. It's outside of Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
It seats 30,000 people. It is a stadium. They literally built a $75 million stadium.
I think that's where Lovett plays. The Lovett high school team from Lovett, Texas.
I don't know.
That's in Friday Night Lights.
No.
Nope.
This is.
Or is this AT Dallas?
This is Allen, Texas.
Yeah.
It's out just outside of Dallas, I think. But seriously, it's a $75 million.
And they fill it.
It's a football stadium.
And they fill it.
They don't play field hockey on it. They don't play soccer on it. They do nothing but play football on it.
Mm-hmm.
It boggles my mind. Now, granted, I'm from Maine, born and raised.
You know what happened to my practice field in high school?
They turned to
We had a practice field out behind the high school.
Yeah.
Literally, it had uprights on it.
Yep.
And they go, no, that's the field hockey field. But it's got uprights on it already. So where are we going to practice? Oh, we're going to bus you over to the old soccer field. But we have a field right here.
So were you at McDougall School?
I was at Kenniston Field first.
Okay.
And then we went to McDougall School.
Okay. It's funny for me because, again, coming from Maine, and I went to a big school in Maine. I went to Oxford Hills.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the state of Maine. I want to say at the time it was like the third or fourth highest enrollment in the state.
Right.
We had almost 1,200 kids in our high school. You know, would get 1,000 people at the football game. Would get 1,000 people at the basketball games. But 30 fucking thousand people.
Mm-hmm.
$75 million stadium. Oh my God. Could you imagine coaching high school football for $75,000 a year and that being your job?
I can imagine it, but it's not going to happen.
Well, I know. But how? I'm sorry, that's cool. That's
It's
cool shit to me.
super
I'm not gonna lie.
It's
That's
super cool. It's just the shit you deal with at that level. Like,
Yeah.
You thought coaching basketball in Rockland, Maine, the parents fucking sucked. Some of them. You think about dealing with players in Texas with full rides to Texas and Oklahoma.
I couldn't.
And they're not playing, and their parents are coming to your house and throw bottles through your window.
I couldn't. Like, I enjoyed my time coaching at Oceanside High School. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I didn't coach long. I did more AAU basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for a while because, again, I wanted my son to be able to play, and I'm one of those guys that I know a little bit about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot. There's a lot of people that know a hell of a lot more than me. But I enjoyed it, and I had fun, and I hope the kids learned some things. Coaching at the high school level in this area is a fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell Matt Breen has done it for as long as he has, the guy's a saint. Because they're batshit crazy.
Now you know why I don't teach? I have a teaching certificate I don't use.
Yeah, but you could teach, though. You could.
I could, but
You could go to Camden and teach.
I can teach what the state of Maine wants me to teach, and I'm not about that.
I know. Well, you know what? That's a good topic for another day.
Yes.
I just coaching to me. I loved coaching. I had a great. My favorite time was when we were practicing or at a game, obviously. But the before and afters, the parents.
The awkward conversations in Walmarts with the parents.
Oh, it's like,
is Billy gonna play this week? Oh, probably. Fuck no, Billy ain't sniffing the court.
You know, we had one. I will freshman team. Okay, I coached freshman boys basketball, and I assisted on the varsity. We're at Camden, which is, for those of you that don't know, that is the rival for Oceanside High School, formerly Rockland District High School.
Yeah, that's when you have cops in at the building, and there's
It's
fights.
it's a rivalry. We are at Camden. We are. I always did. The way I coached was it was equal playing time in the first half. I told the kids right up front. Said at halftime, I'm going to ask you, do you guys want to win?
Or do you want to play?
Or do you want to play? I can tell you, not one single time did 8 kids say, I would rather play. They all wanted to win. And they understood. I had great kids. I did. Every single one that I coached was a great kid.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one knew what their role was on the team. It boggled my mind. And then, so I made sure at Camden, we were in a close game, and I said, are we playing to win, guys? Or every single one said, we're playing to win. And I said, at the end of the game, if we win or lose, regardless of what happens, you need to tell your parents.
You made a team choice.
You guys made the team choice. Because if I have one parent come up to me and ask me about playing time, we're going to have issues.
We gonna run
And
a lot.
So we ended up, it went into overtime. We won in overtime. Matt Breen was not happy that it went into overtime, by the way. He hated that.
Oh, yeah, no. To Matt, they should end in a tie, and we'll just get on to the
And I was not
game.
allowed to use all my timeouts.
Yeah.
I did, but I was...
You got in trouble for it.
He'd joke about it, but it would be unhappy joking. But it was just... That was the frustrating aspect for me was that.
Well, I mean, honestly, to be fair about Matt, dude get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go haul.
Yeah, that's... No. Understood. He
didn't want to get done with the varsity basketball game at 10:30.
And that was the other thing, that in this area, I had this conversation with someone once. So two of my kids played for Matt Breen. My other child didn't play basketball. I got a chance to get to know Matt. He's a good dude.
Yeah, very good dude.
Good dude. Works his ass off.
Yes.
Okay. He's a lobsterman. He owns his own trap company. His wife works as a nurse. He raises his kids. And he puts in shitloads of hours coaching.
A lot of it unpaid.
Okay. The dude works his ass off. I had this conversation with someone. This was before I was coaching. They were bitching about him. And I'm in the stands and I'm listening. And finally I'd had enough. And I said, let me ask you a question. Yeah, what? How many of these kids are going on to play pro ball? And they all looked at me. And I said, no, it's a serious question. How many of these kids are going on to play pro ball? Because I'll tell you right now, it's the same chances I have going pro.
Mm-hmm.
None. Not a one of these is going pro. I said, how many of these are going to college on a Division I scholarship? None of them.
Not a one.
Not a one. Some of them might go to Division II. Some of them might go Division III and play.
Some of them go Division I walk on.
Some might. I said, you've got a guy who busts his ass. He full-time job, raising kids, doesn't do drugs. He's a good family man. And has taken the time to coach your kids, and you're going to sit here and bitch about the fact that you would have done something different?
Welcome to America.
I shouldn't say the entire section. It was like 3 people in front of me and a couple of people beside, just dead silence. And I said, get over yourselves. There's a reason why he's coaching and you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I said, because I'll tell you right now, he's forgotten more about the game of basketball. Oh, by the way, let's mention the fact that he was a 1,000-point scorer in high school and a 1,000-point scorer in college.
Yeah.
Oh, and I believe he's in the Hall of Fame at his school that he went to.
And he's also in the Mid-Coast Sports Hall of Fame.
So tell me again how your basketball resume is better than his?
He was well over 1,000 points in high school.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he scored 1,003.
And, and it was like dead silence. And they're like, well, I said, get over yourself. Yeah. How about you just stop being dicks? And meanwhile, Angie's just sitting there like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I've seen that look.
Yeah. And, after the game, I didn't realize that Matt's wife, Liz, was sitting behind me. It was a couple rows behind me and heard, the whole thing. Because she normally didn't sit over where people are because, coach's wife.
Yeah.
And, it was just, it just boggles my mind that people are just, that's high school sports in Maine.
That's what happens when you live vicariously
my
through
God.
your kids.
Look, I know I did. I coached for a reason. I coached so my kid could fucking play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, I knew what I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. You know what I mean?
You weren't worried about getting judged off your kid's performance.
Hell no.
Some people are.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I knew my kids. I knew my kids weren't going pro. But anyway, we're up against a 30-minute time.
Okay.
So
I think that was a good first Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Enjoy your Friday.
Enjoy your Friday.
With our rants. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We might even have some more fun.
Maybe we might have some more music next week.
Maybe
we'll get new theme song.
Oh, I'll get with the kid.
Okay, yeah,
Tell 'em.
get with our
get
our
with-
marketing executive,
Yeah, I'll get with our marketing executive.
our
and,
marketing department here at Ripping the Rack.
We'll go from that. And by the way, you can reach us, Ripping the Rack Podcast at gmail.com.
Ask us some fun Friday morning questions.
Ripping the Rack Podcast on Facebook. I don't think I'm going to create another Facebook page for this. This will all be part of Ripping the Rack Podcast. But maybe we'll come up with a fun Friday name for it.
And you can listen to that on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Anchor, and wherever else you listen to your podcast.
Nice. You got a nice radio voice.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's your Beef my Leon Phelps voice. Yeah, it's the ladies' man.
The
Ooh,
ladies'
yeah.
man. Oh, yeah. All right. Guys, have a great, thank you for listening. Have a great Friday.
Have a happy weekend.
Have a happy weekend. Be safe. I forget what else we normally say.
And give your balls a tug, fucker.
Tug your balls, fucker. All right. See ya.